Hello and welcome to our first video in the IT Challenge Accepted series. In this video we're going to be going over routing and remote access services and using DHCP relay to relay DHCP messages from one network to another. So over here we have a domain controller, and that's providing DHCP services and DNS and AD and all that jazz. So that's on the 192.168.1 network. And over here we have a makeshift router, Windows 2000 server, running RRAS and DHCP relay. And it has two interfaces: the server network, which has an address of 192.168.1.1, and then there's the desktops interface, which provides services to the desktop network, and that IP is 192.168.2.1. Okay, so let's dive on in and see how all this works. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the domain controller, and we're going to go to the command prompt, and we're going to do an IP config. And as you can see, we have an IP address in the 192.161.1.2, which is in the server network. Now, one thing, when I was going over this the first time and setting it up, the client still was not getting IP addresses from this server, even though I had RRAS set up correctly, and I was starting to go a little bonkers about it. So I came over to the domain controller, took a look at the settings, and lo and behold, there was no default gateway set. The default gateway needed to be set to the router, which is 192.168.1.1. If the default gateway is not set to the router, it's not going to be able to route traffic to the other network. So let's take a look and take a look at the DHCP settings. So we're in the DHCP MMC, and as you can see, I already have a scope set up for 192.168.2.0, which is the desktop network. And there's a couple important settings that we need to set. First is this is in the scope options. We would need the 003 router option, and that's going to point to 192.168.2.1. And because the client machine's on the 2 network, it's going to receive the router information from the DHCP server, and that router needs to be on the same network as the desktop. So then we have the DNS server, and that DNS server is the same IP as the domain controller because it provides DNS. So let's dive in and take a look at our Windows 2000 server. And we're going to bring up routing and remote access. So how we set this up is, once we're in the RRAS MMC, we're going to do a right click and configure and enable remote access. We're going to click next, and we're going to click network router. We're going to click next, and of course we want to use TCP IP, and we do not want to use demand dial connections. We're not using this for dial-up. So we're going to click next, finish, wait for the server to do its thing. Now, just in case you guys are wondering why I'm using Windows 2000 Server, there's two reasons. Number one, trying to save on resources on my modest desktop. Number two, I'm real into nostalgia and retroware. But now with that out of the way, let's dive into setting up the DHCP relay server. So what we're going to do is expand IP routing, and we're going to click on General. And the first thing I want to show you is there's the two interfaces already set up. It's basically already set up as a router through some point and click magic. So we have the server's network, which has an interface address of 192.168.1.1, and the desktop network, which is 192.168.2.1. So to set up DHCP relay, we're going to right click on New Routing Protocol, and we're going to select DHCP relay agent, and we're going to click OK or Next, and then we're going to click on the DHCP relay agent, and we're going to create a new interface, and we're going to select desktops, and we're going to click OK. So with this interface, that is the network that the DHCP relay agent is going to send DHCP requests to. In this case, we want it to be the desktops network, so we have that set up as an interface. The second component to this is actually having the DHCP relay agent point to the server. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a right click on DHCP relay agent. We're going to go to properties, and we're going to type in the IP address of the domain controller, which is 192.168.1.2. We'll click add, apply, and what we're going to do now is head over to the Windows NT workstation. So we're going to do an ipconfig /renew to get a new IP address from the DHCP server on the server network. And as you can see, it now has an IP address coming from the server on the server's network. And another thing we can do is we can ping the actual server .1.1.2, and even though we're on the 2 network, we can still ping the 1 network. And another thing we can do is we can ping the domain controller by its host name, just to see if we have DNS.test.lab. And as you can see, DNS is now working. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any feedback or any questions, I'm open to both. All feedback, I'm open to all feedback, whether it be positive or negative. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.